Hello, and welcome back to the Psych Legal Pop Podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about popular culture through the lens of an attorney and a therapist. I'm Tess Brigham. I'm the therapist.
And I'm Brooke Brigham. I'm the attorney.
And we are back with Sister Wives, Season 20, Episode 7. You're like a stripper. I'm like a pole. And whoa, what an image. Before we get into the show, though, a couple things. We are going to talk about special forces because it was Kody's week this past week, and so have a lot to say about that. But before we even do that, Brooke, I'm here to get your reaction because I just saw on Instagram Kim K did not pass the bar.
No, and I have been counting down to this day because, look, I remember what it was like to be those, you take the bar and then you kind of put it out of your mind because it takes several months you take it in July, you don't get the results till November in California. And, you forget about it at first, you go about your life, but then once you hit October, and the countdown starts coming, I remember what that was like. And I remember logging on and this was 1997, people. Okay.
It was a different time.
It was a different time. I had this raggedy laptop, and it was one of the first years that you could actually go online and get your results, that they even had the technology to do that. So this raggedy laptop that Dad had given to me from his office, and it did nothing. There was it's the AOL dial-up internet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I remember I logged on to what I was supposed to do. It came out at 6:00 at night. And, they send you a code, you put in this code. And the first time I put in the code, I was so nervous that I knew when I was entering the code that I'm like, I think I put this in wrong, but I kept going. And then I hit enter. And then I got this message that said, this person does not appear on the pass list. And I was like, that's not right. That's how confident I was that I had passed. And so I went back, started over, did it again, put in my information again, very carefully, paying more attention. And then it said, congratulations, you passed. So yeah, Mom always says, she's like, I can't believe you just knew that you passed and you knew you'd made a mistake. Yeah, I did. But anyway, so poor Kim.
Yeah, I know.
It's terrible.
I feel for her because no matter what you think about her, how she's spent her life and her money or whatever it is, it is, it is hard. And I remember when I was taking my exams to become a therapist, I felt a lot of pressure because you and Dad both passed the bar on the first try. And I'm like, I can't be the one that fails. Like because it's pressure.
Good motivation.
But it's motivation, but it's also pressure. And I can't, I mean, Kim K is under a tremendous amount of pressure. So I feel for her. And also I know because of people that, I've certainly had colleagues and friends that, I would trust implicitly who failed, so it's really, I feel bad because it's this thing that you have to go through, but at the same time, it's a little bit like it's a standardized test and so many things could go wrong. It's not a measure of intelligence or how much you care or whether or not you're going to be even good at the job. It's about jumping through hoops.
Well, yeah. And the thing is, you take a bar review course, which is like 2 months long, to basically teach you how to take the test.
Yeah. Same thing. I took those same things. Yep.
It's not how well you know it. It's just, and part of the test is multiple choice, which, as a lawyer who's taught to think critically, multiple choice always really tripped me up because there was always two answers that arguably could be correct. And so if you sit there and you think about it too long, you're wasting time and you're probably going to pick the wrong answer. So they teach you that this is the right answer. If they ask you this, if they ask it this way, that you answer this way. And you kind of have to put all of your whatever you just spent 3-4 years learning, you have to put it aside and just figure out how to take this test.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's no different than the SAT or the LSAT or the GRE or any of these tests.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, you're right. It's a standardized test. But so she posted this on her Instagram stories. So she said, "Well, I'm not a lawyer yet. I just play a very well dressed one on TV. 6 years into this law journey, and I'm still all in until I pass the bar. No shortcuts, no giving up, just more studying and even more determination. Thank you to everyone who has supported and encouraged me along the way so far. Falling short isn't failure, it's fuel. I was so close to passing the exam, and that only motivates me even more. Let's go." So very gracious,
Mhm. And very
that's
open.
not
I don't know if I
easy.
would wanna be posting
I
that, but
know, the day after, I mean, they
yeah.
just came out yesterday.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. No, it's rough. I mean, again, and she was probably very close. So it's like one question. If you had answered this question like this, then you would have got. I mean,
mhm,
that's the part about it that is infuriating. But I remember around the time when I started studying, I had a supervisor who was like, "You got to let go." Exactly what you said. You got to let go of whether this is right or wrong, or
mhm,
the way like, because I was getting into the weeds of like, well, is this true, exactly what you're talking about, like,
right,
well, what if this
right,
is like this, or even why am I being tested on this isn't important, because
mhm,
by the time you take the exam you've done so many hours that you know what it's like to sit across from someone, so that you have a certain amount of knowledge. And that's what was screwing me up. And absolutely, they were just like, you have to see these as hoops. I mean, hoops that you're
mhm,
jumping through. What do I need to do to get through this hoop? What do I need to do to get through this hoop? And that's it. And then once you pass, that's the other thing too, is what happens is once you pass and you live with it, it's like you kind of forget, like having a baby. You kind
mhm,
of forget how long and arduous the process is. So people who are right about to take the test, they always say to me, "No way, no way I'm not going to think about this." I'm like, "Oh yeah, you will be done, and it will be done,
mhm,
and it won't be
mhm.
such a big deal anymore, and then it'll be over." So,
Yeah. Well, I'm sure Kim will
yeah.
keep going. I mean,
Yes.
she's not gonna give up, and good for her. Um, and that just really sucks.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is that if you pass the bar in California, they don't tell you your score. They only
Mm.
tell
Yeah.
you your score if you don't
Same
pass,
same
you know?
here. Same with the therapists. Yeah.
So
They
I
know, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if I passed with flying colors or I barely passed. Could
That's
be
the other
either
thing
one.
too. Yeah, you have no idea. I got
Yeah.
my results instantly. Like,
Oh,
you do the
wow.
test, and then they say, "Okay, we're gonna calculate your results," because it's all computerized.
Mm.
And and so then in between the time that they're putting your answers together, they ask you a series of questions like, "How is the service here? How is the temperature of the room?" And
Who gives a shit?
yeah, and I remember both times, because there's two different exams you have to pass. Both times you're like, "I don't fucking care what you don't care." You're like, "I don't want to talk
Just
about
tell
the
me my
heat."
score.
Yeah, but and your heart is just thumping, 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 like boom, boom, boom. And then and the sigh of relief, and then you can walk out the door, and yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And like, who am I gonna call first?
yeah.
So
Ugh, gosh, I'm getting anxiety just
yeah.
thinking about it.
We'll talk more, because I on our again, quick plug for our Patreon. If you're not a Patreon member, we do a weekly bonus. So this week we definitely have to talk about this, and about
All's
Kim's new
fair.
show, All's
Yeah.
Fair. Oh dear God. And
Your love,
uh,
Rick Springfield,
yes, he was
was on the
on the
show.
show. And
When
then I
I
was like,
saw
"Oh,
him, I was like, "No way. I
I was
can't
like,
believe
this is
it."
genius." This is oh my God.
This show's brilliant.
I was very excited. No, it immediately, because after the first episode, I was like, "God, we need some character development. We need this. We need that." But when I saw him, I was like, "Oh, I'm out. Okay, great. I'm happy now."
Yeah, I
Yeah,
enjoyed it. I watched the first 3 episodes. I think that's all that's been released.
yeah.
I
It's
like it. I mean, look, you have to take it for what it is.
yeah.
I look at it as kinda like a soap opera, and
Mm-hmm.
the characters are crazy, they've got
Mm-hmm.
all these crazy outfits and this real estate. I like looking at the real
Yeah. Oh,
estate,
yeah.
how
Yeah.
those houses, and so it's fun. If Don't expect too much, okay?
Yeah.
Like, keep your expectations low.
Yeah.
It's just kind of eye candy, that's all it is.
Yeah, it's kinda like going to McDonald's for a meal. Like, yeah, it's not how you wanna eat every day, but
Mhm.
sometimes you're just like, "This is all my body
This
can
is
digest."
awesome, yeah.
Yeah, like, "This is awesome, this is all I can handle." Um, but I have well, I don't wanna go too we'll talk about this on the bonus. Anyway, we gotta talk
Okay.
about, special forces,
Yes.
because this past week was a very Kody heavy week,
Mhm.
and overall I watching him on the show is like watching him on Sister Wives. It's just he is like an annoying puppy. He is like
Mhm.
it's exhausting. Exhausting to like watch it. And it is interesting to hear other people talk about him like Brianna, Chicken Fried, like all
Mhm.
these people that who have had to socialize and network to get to
Mhm.
where they are today, who had to like, Sean Johnson, right? Like shaking people's hands, showing up to the gym. Like Kody really is the only one that really does not have, and you're seeing it like, oh, you really kind of don't get how to be with people, do
No,
you?
he's so socially awkward, and I think yeah, because on the show, we we're seeing more of his awkwardness now that the
Mm-hmm.
family has all fallen
Mm-hmm.
away, but before, he was always around family
Mm-hmm.
who he was comfortable with, and he had a certain way he would be and,
Mm-hmm.
comfort level, and then, um, outside of that, when he goes out in public, like, we'll talk about this later in the, show when they go to that bar to learn how to dance or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just so socially awkward around strangers and other people, and, on this show, he's so socially awkward. I mean, wow. I mean,
Yeah.
he's really
Yeah. But
stunted.
But it was so funny because when he left their little bunk area and Brianna
Mhm.
turns to everyone, it's like, we've all been in this situation where we're part of a group project or like camp or, sorority or something
Mhm.
where you're a little bit like, listen, we all like this person, but they're nuts or they're difficult to deal with. And Brianna's like,
Mhm.
listen, she's basically like giving everyone a pep talk, but he's ours, so we need to be nice to him. Like they're kind of strategizing on
Mhm.
how do we deal with this crazy, and it's crazy, but it's also there. He's annoying,
Yeah.
annoying, and we all have been there with someone that is super annoying, whether it's at the slumber party or wherever, and they do not get it. They don't
Mhm.
get it. And, I hope that
Yeah.
wasn't me. But listen, if you've had a lot of these conversations about the annoying person, then it wasn't you. But if you've never had a conversation ever, it might be you.
Yeah.
Might be you.
Yeah. I mean, he's manic.
Mhm.
He's ADHD. He's like all
Yeah.
over the place. Yeah, he's like a puppy.
Mhm.
He's totally like a puppy.
And they're
Um,
all laughing at him. They're all laughing at him.
yeah.
Not o the staff, the people in charge, um contestants. And my guess would be is I think he's made a lot of really goofy, inappropriate, I think
Mhm.
misogynistic comments.
Mhm.
And I think I think they're, especially Gia and Brianna, who are the young females, and probably Sean, they're kind of trying to figure out how do we manage this and not, you know, because they don't wanna get into this big fight with him out in the middle of this desert.
Yeah.
It's like, this is not the moment in time where they need to be sticking up for themselves. It's a little bit like, they're just trying to figure out how to manage this. So,
Yeah, they're just trying to survive a couple more
yeah.
days. They're
Yeah.
down to the end here. But yeah, so and when he has his um the little interviews where he's dressed
Mhm.
normally and
Mhm.
little confessional thing, he just says the strangest things. Like he
Mhm.
says, I needed this like I needed air. Challenge
Mhm.
makes you feel alive. Feeling alive makes you feel masculine.
Yeah. Masculine thing came back up.
Yeah. So there's I saw someone on TikTok who was, let's see, was talking about how he's talking very much like this manosphere person.
Mm.
Um, let me see if I can. His name is Jordan something. Let's see if I can find it.
It's not like, is it Jordan Peterson or am I thinking
Yes.
oh, okay.
Yes. Jordan Peterson.
And I know this name because I hear people talking about, but I don't know what he looks like or anything else. I
Well,
just know
he's
he's part of that world.
yeah, he's Canadian, I believe.
Oh, great.
And I remember looking.
Does he live here in the US? Because if this
Mhm.
guy is up in Canada
Yeah, we
talking
don't
about the
need
problems of
this,
the US,
Canada.
we don't need this.
Um, I know he's Canadian. I don't know if he lives here, but I don't know. He's like the leader of the manosphere,
Mm,
basically. And they were saying that the way Kody talks and the words he uses and stuff, it's very much he's parroting this guy.
mhm,
So Kody is deep into the manosphere, like
mhm.
deep, 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 and I think he has been for a few years. And I mean, if I had $1 for every time this man has said masculine,
Oh
on this
god.
show and on the Sister Wives, I mean, it's like
Yeah,
he's
we'd all be
so
millionaires.
hung yes, he's so hung up on it.
Well,
Um,
do you
yeah.
think that and I'm not saying this at all to like I I've often wondered if Cody did have interest in men and that I don't know, is he fighting this? Is he fighting these feelings? Because you
Mhm.
doth to protest too much. There's
Right.
too much protesting of something that none of us have ever looked at you and thought he's not masculine enough or what does even masculine mean or any of these things that he's talking about. It's a little bit like again, it's back to, and we'll talk about this on the on Sister Wives. It's like you need to stop telling us
How
he is
masculine you are.
how and also just stop. You don't need to like, yeah, we know you and Robin have sex because you're a married couple. Got it. I mean,
Right.
it's like it's enough. It's enough. So
Well,
anyway.
the love of his life, that guy Ken, from who rejected him, when
Mhm.
he
Yeah.
went
Yeah.
into polygamy. And then when they went to the high school reunion and everybody said that they thought he was gay in high
Yeah.
school. So he got teased. If they're
Yeah.
saying this now and they remember this now, and mind you, back in the 80s
Yes.
when you were in high school,
In
he
Wyoming. I also wanna
exactly.
say, because listen, I went to high school in the late '80s, early '90s in Berkeley, California, and there was nobody that was out. I mean,
Oh,
this
yeah, no,
no
god
one
no.
was out. So you've gotta understand, like, you've got the one place where you could be anything, and no one's gonna
Mhm.
say anything to you about it, and no one was out. So I cannot imagine what it was
Mhm.
like for him in Wyoming in the '80s. And that's why I do wonder sometimes, like, wow, if his life had been different and he got some job that brought him out to the Bay Area or to New York or
Mhm.
to some other
Mhm.
place, like, would he have gotten here and been like, "Oh, maybe I'm fluid. Maybe
Mhm.
maybe there's something more, something more going on." That's what I wonder, but I think like that's why I think there's something in there in the back of his head. Again, it's okay. He doesn't have to do anything or act on anything. It doesn't change anything, but it does make me wonder why you feel like we need to know this so much.
And right, and when we get there, when Mary is looking at her wedding dress and going through
Mhm.
that box and they find that letter from Cody, notice how he calls her his best friend.
Mhm.
He doesn't he's like, "My love,
Mhm. Mm.
I thought it was a very platonic kind of letter.
Ye Yeah, it's the kinda letter. I
Even
mean,
though he says, "I love you bunches," or something like
ye
that. I mean,
yeah, I felt like a letter a father would write to a child. That's what it felt like to me.
yeah.
Our father would never write us a letter like that, but but it felt very father-like of like,
Mhm.
"It's gonna be okay, get it together.
Everything's gonna be
It's
fine,
gonna be
don't
fine.
worry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you'll figure it out."
But yeah, he
As
signs it like your best friend, Cody
Mhm.
Brown. Cody Brown. Wasn't very romantic.
No. Okay, so let's focus on
Okay,
we gotta
back
focus.
to
We gotta
this. I know.
focus on sorry, we're 20 minutes in and we've gone in circles. So we gotta focus on special forces. So
Okay.
so you have notes because I just remember the section that sticks out in my mind is when the staff called Cody number 4, whatever he is,
Mhm.
come out, and he just like a dog runs all the way to the thing, and they're looking at him like, "Hello, we established that when staff calls you, you stand by this rock."
Right.
And that's when he like, "Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh, yeah." And then
Yeah.
he runs by the rock and again, he's like an excited puppy that's just
He's
like,
manic. Yeah.
and God, I mean, the thing is that he must be, I mean, I can't imagine how exhausted these people are. I can't imagine how their bodies feel. The
Mhm.
fact that Kody is sticking with it, I give that man all the credit in the world
Mhm.
because much younger people couldn't handle this. So he really, he is keeping up and all of that. But you would think, like, even this level of exhaustion, this level of your body being in pain, you're this manic still. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what calms you down?
Well, yeah,
Does anything calm you down?
he's just going on adrenaline.
Yeah, probably.
Pure adrenaline. Okay. So, okay, something happens where he's the duty recruit.
Yeah, that was kind of random. That just turned, it just came out that way. And I think it's because somebody else probably left.
Well, he says he's a great leader
Yes.
and he did the best to lead his family. It just and then he just kind of trails off.
Mm-hmm.
You see the guys, the drill sergeants. Is that what DS stands for? Drill sergeant? I always
I guess
say
so.
drill sergeant.
Yeah.
They're kind of making fun of him. Um, before he gets in there. And so one of them asks, "What are the pros and cons of your lifestyle?"
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And he says, "I had 18 kids with 4 wives, 3 divorces, never do it again, bad blood with some family members with my divorces, some cases with um, children, communication has ceased." This
Mm-hmm.
is the way he's talking. It's very
Yeah.
like disjointed. Um, and he says there's certain things he won't own.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't
I
know
thought
what
that
any
was
of
it.
that means. It's just all gibberish. It's like,
So that is him saying, "This isn't all my fault.
right.
This
Well,
isn't
it
all my
never
fault."
is.
And here's the thing, nothing, and here's the thing, Kody, nothing is anything that has to do with another person, nothing is ever 100% one person's fault, except like an attack or something like that. That's a different story. But any kind
Mhm.
of relationship, parent, child, partner, everyone has a part in it. But really, to me, that what that was saying is that, and he then justifies it. He says, well, maybe that's not the attitude to have, or maybe I shouldn't, but that's how I feel. And so it's very much that place of, that you need to take some level of accountability and you still
Mhm.
won't. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think these men have much respect for Cody
No.
because, he has not been a leader. He has not taken care of
Mm-mm.
his family. He blames everybody for everything. And Cody says he's happy to be here. He cherishes this experience.
Yeah.
And then one of the drill sergeants says, "Well, when life and limb was on the line, it was all about you." Because they had
Mm-hmm.
just done a challenge
Yep.
where he fucked up
Yep.
and
Yep. Yep. Yep.
someone would have lost their life, if
Yeah.
this was real. Um, then he says his calling was to be a husband and a father. Accusations of favoring of There were accusations of favoring. If he's offended by his children's rejection,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't want to admit he's wrong. Should have had a stronger relationship with children. He says he's willing to say he's wrong. His failure was because he didn't know shit. I mean, he's just all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, well,
It's the
it's my
same.
fault. It's not my fault. My
Yeah.
fault. Yeah.
Well, I saw on I haven't listened to the full episode, but I know on Little Miss Recap, Amy covers the show. And I think this
Mhm.
was her post. I believe it was from her that was basically saying, this is still Kody. Like, yes, Kody said, because I think a lot of people were rallying behind him, like, oh, maybe Cody's changed or they saw some version of him in this
Mm.
conversation. But I think what she was pointing out was, but nothing has changed with his family. So
No.
if all of the things that he felt, and if he was going on that experience to have some sort of breakthrough in order to better understand himself so that he can repair these relationships, he hasn't done it. And she's absolutely right. Like,
He
we
hasn't
all know.
contacted any of his children.
So it wasn't
Yeah.
like he got back from this trip and contacted his kids or said, I had this big experience and here's what I'm going to tell you. So I think she's absolutely right. Like, before anybody makes him a hero, um, watch out. Like,
Yeah, no,
whoa, slow your roll.
he's saying all this in an attempt to repair his public
Yes.
persona.
Yes.
Um, so he says about being a good father and husband, he thought that he was. He misunderstood and was wrong. Hated to be blamed for it, so he resisted it. And one of the
Mhm.
drill sergeants says, "That's a very adolescent way of looking at
Mhm.
it."
Yeah. Thought that was
It's your
interesting.
yeah, it's your fault. When you own that, you'll do something about it. And they tell him straight up,
Yeah.
"This is your fault, and it's not gonna get
Yeah.
fixed magically unless you
Mhm.
do something."
And
So
that
finally
adolescent.
yeah, finally, thank
Yeah.
you. Someone has stood up to this man.
Well, I hate to say it. Does it take a bunch of masculine men I mean,
Mhm.
that's the thing. I thought to myself, oh, well, maybe this is who she needed to hear this from. He would listen to them, but it's like, no,
Mhm.
in Amy's right. Like, what's happened? Nothing's happened. You haven't
No.
even done anything. This was filmed over what, a year ago or something. So, or whatever it was. So that's the part of it is, yeah, he's still blaming everybody else for right. You can't have it both ways. You cannot call yourself the leader and then blame everybody else.
Right.
You can't.
Yeah, and then it was interesting, we were talking, I think, before we started recording about how, Tony and McKelty talked to that podcast. I think it's called Pop
Pop
Psych.
psychology. I think, oh, pop psych, yeah. And
It's
I
Pop
think
Psych something.
but I
It's
think it's
almost the same as ours, but it's got a different word.
well, there's no
Um,
legal.
there's no
It's
legal,
a
but there's
therapist and
another
his wife.
yeah, Pop Psych something. But anyway, what McKelty was saying was that, you know, he would call her, back when he was
Mhm.
because she was somehow favored or something. And she finally just said, if you want to have a relationship with me, you want me to accept you, you have to accept my whole family.
Mhm.
And that includes my siblings,
Mhm.
and that includes the mothers, that includes everyone. You can't just call me
Mhm.
and say, oh, here, McKelty's the one who will talk to me. And it's like, well, good for you, McKelty, like for drawing a
Yeah.
line in the sand. Because it's bullshit. It's like, well, I'll call McKelty because she's traditionally, been nice to
Mhm.
me,
Mhm.
but I'm not going to call her siblings.
Mhm.
So I thought that was
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah, I think that and you can kind of see her thinking pattern. I think in the beginning she thought, okay, this is my way to repair it. And then when
Mhm.
she saw that nothing was really changing at all in their
Mhm.
relationship, um, then I think then that's when she was like, okay, I can't we're not moving forward and I'm not going to be used like this. The other thing that I heard her talk about in that, because I've seen some clips of the interview,
Mhm.
was around Robyn, and this is exactly what I said when we were on, the Brown social media with, Love to Hate Everything, is
Oh,
and
Jody
this
and
is what's
Amanda. Yeah.
yeah, Jody, Amanda. So, this is what's going on with McKelty, is she is trying to figure out what was the root of my friendship with Robyn.
Mhm.
And I think that this one is this and I think this is a big part of it too, because it's Kody and Robyn together. So there's a little bit of she's really trying to figure out, and I knew it. I knew like this was the thing that deep down inside, did you lie to me at 15?
Mhm.
And did you manipulate me and lie to
They
me when I was
used
15
her.
years old and
Yeah.
use me?
They used her as a babysitter.
Well, yeah, beyond that, but did Robyn see me as someone important and special because I am or I was
Mhm.
and you saw that? Or did you see me as important and special because I was your way in? Or are you gonna
Mhm.
manipulate me? And
Mhm.
that to me is heartbreaking because
Mhm.
you're using like how we are, how we perceive ourselves, how the world accepts us. That's very important, especially when you're 15. God, I would just be livid.
Yeah. I know. I feel badly for McKelty. She's just been such a punching bag.
Yeah.
Um, so like some other stuff, he says he wants to repair all the relationships with his family, even with his ex-wives.
Mm.
Um, and I wrote down here, and he's not being honest, not taking ownership of failures. I'm sorry I hurt or offended my children, and he needs humility back in his life. Ugh.
Mm.
Okay. Then they have this thing at the end, towards the end of the show, where they each have to write like their last words to their
Mhm.
loved ones in case something happens to them, which is like a standard practice in special forces. Um, and he wrote all about Robin,
Yeah.
talking
Not his
about,
kids.
Robin is his love and everything. Yeah, and everyone else is like, yeah, writing to their kids, like, tell my kids how much I love them. You're everything to me. Blah 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 blah. He, yeah, it's all about Robin, his special love. I'll see you in paradise. Whatever. It's like, I'll visit you in your dreams. I mean, all
Mhm.
these like crazy, stupid sayings, and um,
Mhm.
it's just like, my God, why is this? Why is he so infatuated with Robin?
Because again, this leads us back to because he has got to make us two parts because we don't know what he's like when he is alone. We only see him on camera, so we don't
Mhm.
know how he's like if this is all just performative. But I really do think it's layered. I think the top layer is performative, and I think the bottom of it is that he has got to his family's fallen apart. He's been divorced 3 times, and the only way to make that quote unquote seem right to him
Mhm.
is
Acceptable. Yeah.
yeah, or I can sit with this, or the world, people will still accept me, is to say I did it all for love. And this love
Mhm.
is so big and so great and so unique and so special and so that and that's why there's all of this. He keeps having to remind us, like, we're so in love, we're so this and that. It's like,
Right.
God damn it, you two. Like, give me a break. Like,
Oh,
got
I know.
it.
This episode this week, they're just bending over backwards to, show us how special their love is, and it's just like, whatever. Yeah, and he can't even follow simple instructions, like when they tell him, when their session is over, like,
Yeah.
he stands up and they're like, "No, not you, sit down," and he's like, "Oh," and then they put the bag on his head, and then he stands up, and then they're like, "Turn to the right," and he turns to the left. It's like,
Yeah.
you can't even listen or like follow instructions. And when they do their challenges and stuff, he every time the failures that he,
Mm-hmm.
just for not listening, not accepting any input from anybody else,
Mm-hmm.
just like, I'm just gonna just go for it. And oh,
And
I mean,
yeah, he was paired up with Sean Johnson West, right? Sean Johnson West?
East.
East, sorry. Different direction. Okay, so and I mean, if you and we learned a bit more about her on this episode, and yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
she's incredibly
She's
she's a
a
gold
tough motherfucker. I
she's a tough
mean,
motherfucker, and she's also she is an Olympian, she is a gold medal winner,
yes,
correct?
absolutely. Yeah.
And so that's the other part of it too is if anybody else would see her and be intimidated, be like, okay, I'm going to let
Mhm.
her lead, or okay, I got to listen to her. But no, all he sees is female. I swear
Yeah.
to God, all he sees is she's a female, not anything that she's done, not anything no, she's a woman.
Well, and look at how far Gia and Brianna have come.
Yeah.
I mean, did you think that those 2 would be here at, like, day
No,
7?
no, listen, those 3 women that are
Yeah.
left, they have outmatched football players and
Mhm.
basketball players and everyone. So yeah, I give them a lot of credit. I do.
Yeah. No, and you're right. Kody looks at them like he's kinda making fun of Gia because
Mhm.
she's washing her face, or I just.
Oh, yes, this was a whole other thing too, was it sounds like Cody's not taking care of himself. Cody is not bathing,
Oh, yeah, they're
and
talking about how much he smells.
he smells and his attitude is really like, "Okay." But again, if you were all living in your own little areas, maybe, but
Mhm.
that is so little respect for other people
Mhm.
that you don't care how you smell. And again,
Mhm.
the smelliness and some of this is kind of a neurodivergent. There's something here. I'm telling you,
Mm.
there's some kind of neurodivergent thing here because this is a big problem. And I've had some clients, young clients over the years with, where you have to have these, you've got to bathe, you've got to do these things
Mhm.
because this is society is not going to be okay with you not doing that, whether you think you should or not. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
how incredibly selfish and self-centered and rude
Yeah.
that is that you smell and everybody else is taking care of themselves and keeping it clean and nice for the group.
Right. Well, and
Ugh.
remember when he and Robin were moving and he was he was just making a big fuss about how much he
Oh,
smelled and he was just tickled by that. And it's just like, yeah. And your family doesn't appreciate it either. So
yeah.
bathe at home or wherever you are. Whenever you can bathe, bathe. Like that's the polite
Yes.
thing to do.
I love showering. I love showering. I don't love like having to
I
dry my
don't
hair and all that, but I
Yes,
love
I hate
showering.
that part. I hate the after shower like
Well,
routine because I feel like it takes so long, but
unless you're
showering
just
feels good.
showering at the end of the day and you're like, "Great, I don't have to put on any makeup, I don't have to do my hair, like, I'll just let my
Mhm.
hair air dry." That's the best.
Yeah, maybe I should try that.
Okay. So we gotta
Okay.
dig into this episode, which I as we were talking earlier, I think was a really good episode. I feel like not much happened per se, like, there weren't that many activities, but it was a lot of, "Oh, okay," hearing a little bit more, and I feel like we're understanding Mary a lot more. I
Mhm.
feel like
Yeah.
I'm seeing her and I feel like, okay, I understand you now a bit more. Um, and yeah, I'm here for Mary's journey. I really am. Because I do think that like I could see Mary, maybe meeting someone else and getting married and like healing from all of this. Cause she seems to be she's understanding where her anger is coming from. She's
Mhm.
acknowledging it. She's, I guess maybe I never said that, realizing like there's some things that maybe I should have said to Janelle, like all of
Right.
that.
Well, and
So
also, yeah, I'm starting to kind of understand Mary a little better and having some grace for her because, you know, Cody's and everyone else, the way that they describe Mary has always been so strong. She's never really stuck up for herself or
yeah.
said how she feels until now.
Hmm.
And I really, because Cody makes a comment at some point in this episode that Mary was so insecure and he
Yeah.
had to give her like so much attention. It's like, well, why was she so insecure?
Hmm.
Like, maybe did you have something to do with that? Because maybe you weren't making her feel secure because of your behavior and
Hmm.
your whatever. And now, I mean, I really do think that Cody might not have wanted to be with a woman. I mean, seriously, I don't know if
Oh.
I don't think he was like in love with her in that way or attracted to her in that way. Because I'm sorry,
Hmm.
that card, your friend, Cody Brown, your best friend, this is from your husband.
You think
And
this
he's
is
like,
like a Reese Billie Jean situation?
could be. I
We'll
mean,
get back to that Seeking Sister Wives.
yeah, I'm
Hmm.
really wondering because, or maybe he just was never attracted to her. I don't know. He was never attracted to her. He was never attracted to Christine. Apparently he was somewhat attracted to Janelle, although I think Janelle's standards are so fucking low,
Yeah. I think she made
really.
him feel a certain way, and I think that's why he liked her. But it is when you look at it, it is really interesting because if you just saw the first 3 wives, they're all blonde. It's like, "Oh,
Mhm.
your type is a blonde," but the woman that you love is got dark hair.
Mhm.
Um, and while some people date lots of different people, I do think that people have these preferences. Like, if you meet
Mhm.
people, you're kinda like, "Oh, all these women are got dark hair," or they all have the same personality, or they all like this or that.
Yeah, and I
So,
do
I mean,
think
people have types.
yeah, and I do think that Mary and Cody's relationship was somewhat arranged.
Mhm.
Because remember he was talking about how he really loved Mary's family, spent a lot of
Mhm.
time with them. I think they were probably instrumental in bringing his family into the fundamentalist, the
Mhm.
AUB. Um, I think this was kind of arranged. It was like, okay, we
Yeah.
got to get Cody married, and Mary needs to get married, and they're the same age, and let's just put these two together.
Well, and Cody and Mary are a little bit older than myself, but when you look at the date they got married, I'm like 1990. I'm like I was in
Yeah.
high school. I was a junior in high school at 1990. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I was about 16 and these people were 3 years older than I was.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know whether no matter what Kody's preferences are, it's back to the same issue of you're all upset with each other, but you were all kids. You were all fish that didn't know you were wet. And then you guys figured out, oh, wait a second, this marriage doesn't work like this, or relationships don't work like that. Oh, wait, you know, even though I'm supposed to not feel jealous, I feel jealous. Like all of the things they encountered. And so what's happening now is, but it's interesting to see how each of them is now realizing that, but it realizing it, and but it's still Kody who's blaming everybody else for
Mhm.
something that was like, yeah, but Meri did it too. And Christine, they all thought this was the path to go down. They all thought
Mhm.
this was the answer to things. And you all were so young that
Yeah.
what other, I don't blame you. I don't
You were
blame
in a
you for that.
cult. You were in
Yeah.
a cult. I mean, yeah, no one's in there doing stuff of their own free will in a cult.
Hmm.
So, okay, so let's get into this. So, Meri just happens to have these
Oh, yes.
boxes of stuff from her wedding she got from storage. And this is interesting. So she made her dress and her grandma
Yeah.
helped her. And so she has this kind of sentimental tie to it because her grandma helped her make it. Because, she's like, what do I do with this? And, no one's ever going to wear
Yeah.
it. And I'm surprised. Well, I'm not surprised. She seems like she's very sentimental. She keeps all this stuff. But yeah, all this stuff like their wedding announcement
Hmm.
where, they look like a JCPenney catalog
Yeah.
ad, a couple, like, and they're having a reception and a ball because Kody
Yes.
wanted lots of dancing. He's
Because
always been a dancer.
Cody loves dancing. And this was the theme of
Yeah.
this episode: dancing,
Yeah,
dancing, dancing, dancing.
dancing. And then I thought this was interesting. She was talking about how she was very shy, just like
Hmm.
someone else we know.
Hmm.
Very shy, and she didn't want to do a reception line with all these people because she didn't want to
Hmm.
have to hug and, talk to all these strange people that,
Yeah, which I
her parents'
understand.
friends, which is interesting. But it's interesting. I wouldn't consider Meri shy today, but
Yeah.
I guess she was shy at the time. And, then Kody talks about how he just wanted to dance and he wanted to dance to rock and roll, but, that just
Oh my
that
God. It's
wasn't
like
possible.
Footloose, the Cody Brown story.
It's true. He just wants to dance
He
to
just
some
wants
fucking
to
rock and roll.
dance, for Christ's sakes. Just let him dance. Yeah. And that was the whole thing. They couldn't have a rock band and they couldn't
Yeah.
have any of those things. Right. So I don't know. But then this is what I love is then they have to get everyone else's takes on things. So
Yeah.
Robyn, of course, Robyn, you're like, Robyn, God damn,
She's so
lady, you are
negative.
exhausting. She's like, well, was it a good memory? It was a good, and she can't even say, yeah, it was a really good memory. It was a great day. It was a lot of fun. It
She looked
always
like
has,
she was having a lot of fun
yeah,
in those
it's, it,
tapes.
but the thing is that I'm sad now. So
Yeah.
now everything is sad. That's the thing about her that's so annoying. It's like, it's all some one thing for this period of time. And now I'm not doing that anymore. I'm sad. So now I have to look back on this day with all of these bittersweet feelings. And it's a little bit like, no matter how the wedding or the marriage turned out, you can still, bring yourself back to that moment and feel
Yeah.
that it was joyous. But it's all
Yeah,
about other
even
people, you know?
yeah, even Christine said in her book when she said, I have to have some happy memories from this
Yeah.
experience, and she lists some, and one of them was Kody and Robyn's wedding. That was
Mhm.
a fun day. So if
Mhm.
Christine can see it that way, Robyn,
Yeah.
why can't you?
Well, she says that Robyn said, I accomplished the thing I wanted to accomplish. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So the thing that you wanted to accomplish that you're telling us was that you wanted everyone to have a great day at the wedding for it to be good, but not. So you're now saying you weren't prioritizing yourself, but it's interesting. Like I accomplished the thing I wanted to accomplish. Hmm. So you were really thinking through how you were gonna see. This is the thing. Robyn does spend a lot of time, and this is how bad therapists can be like this too, where if you are very good at reading people and having an awareness and understanding why people are doing what they're doing, you can use it for good or bad.
Mhm.
And I think Robyn, I don't think she's a particularly bright person, but I think she's good with people and understanding human nature and what to do and how to work situations. So I think she just the mask kind of slipped a little bit here.
Mm.
That accomplished the task that you wanted to accomplish. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she wanted everyone to feel emotionally
Oh
safe.
God, yeah, I wrote that down too. I'm
Like,
like, give
what
me
does
a
that mean?
break.
I mean, what? I don't even know what that means.
My
Emotionally
favorite part,
safe?
sorry, the best part of the whole scene was it's Jen and Meri on the floor, and then all of a sudden, Zona. She's like, "What are we doing?" She gets right. That is such a dog thing to get right in the middle of
Right in the
everything that's
middle.
going and be like, "Hi, you're both here on the floor." Because dogs love it when you get on the floor because you're their level. So anyway, I thought she was so cute. And
Isn't that
then
I was
yeah,
surprised to hear Christine say that she still has her dress. You'd think of all people she would have just,
she would
like,
have burned
burnt
that
that
sucker.
thing.
But
Yeah.
she said
She
that
took the petals off
yeah.
to make McKelty's bouquet
Mhm.
or something, but she still has the dress.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, I still have my wedding dress. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna ever do with it. And I have a box just like Mary's of all the
Mhm.
same stuff, like the announcement that this. And every time it's like, oh, okay, I'll just put this away. Like it's hard to know what to do with it.
Yeah, you should donate your dress to, um, some organization. I don't know if this because like, I know they have people who collect dresses, like prom dresses for, girls who can't afford
Mm.
to buy a prom
I didn't
dress.
know that existed. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I would do that because the thing was either you keep it forever and do nothing, or you give it away, or you reuse it for whatever reason.
Mhm.
But I've just, again, as we talked about, I'm not a big Halloween person, so I was never going to use it for a costume. But yeah, that's
Yeah,
a really good
there's
idea. I should find one of those
well,
organizations.
I know of one
Oh,
in
okay.
Oakland. It's called the Princess Project because a friend of mine is on the board. And yeah, like they could tailor it a little bit so it
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
look so much like a wedding dress. So yeah, you should donate it.
Well, and my dress is good too because it tied in the back. So it can fit
Mhm.
a lot of different sizes. Like you could be
Mhm.
tiny or you could be bigger, right? So yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll get all the info from you. All right. And then this is where Meri finds a letter from Kody. And dun dun dun. But first, we got to go to Flagstaff because Robyn and Kody are going to Eritrea. Eritrea. Now,
Atria? I
Atria.
think it's Atria.
Atria.
I
A
looked
modern
this up
Italian.
online. I actually looked this up
Yeah.
online.
Oh, okay. How is it?
It's Well, it's very pricey. It's pretty pricey for, what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, they had this one, like, what are those, is it called a tomahawk steak?
Mm-hmm.
They had it's like a 50-ounce tomahawk steak with a bunch of sides or whatever, $300.
Yeah, we've ordered those tomahawk steaks. They're expensive, but they must have like less expensive. But that's the thing.
Oh
You go out
yeah.
to a restaurant now, and every dish. I mean, even pastas are $25, $30.
Oh
So
yeah, like a green salad was like $15.
yeah.
So, um, you know, it's it was interesting looking.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess
I
they're
would
not
eat
really
there if someone
budgeting.
else was paying. Yeah, exactly. Well, it's production just paying for it, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, Kody has to tell us, of course, that, he and Robyn are going out to dinner because, they're constantly engaged. All the language he uses too is
Yeah,
so
what does
weird.
that mean? Constantly engaging our relationship.
Basically, it's like, listen, because he's talking about how our kids draw all of our attention and we end up being like, and he's right, battle buddies or whatever. And that is, yes, that is what happens. But really, but the way he describes it, it's like he's describing something that the rest of us know nothing about or that no one else struggles with. It's
Right.
like,
Nobody has kids and deals with this kind of stuff but them.
yeah, it's like, yeah, this is kind of how it is for anybody who's married with children is,
Mhm.
yeah, your kids suck up a lot of your time and energy, and that's the relationship. And yeah, you need to spend time together. And
Duh. Like
it's just like, oh my God.
this is like
Um,
revolutionary.
and
Oh
then this
god.
was this other comment that Kody made where he's like, "Oh, you didn't get much sleep last night." And Robin's like, "No." And he was talking about the kids and the kids, I guess it was the kids that kept her up. And Cody's like, "Well, it'd be weird if people, not weird, but I wanted people to think that it was me keeping you up rather than the kids. And Robin goes, "Oh, that would be better." I'm like, "Oh, look at this. Someone's not so shy." But
Yeah.
but Kody again, like we know, yeah, got it.
Yeah, we know you have sex. But yeah, he makes a comment about how the kids, including their adult kids, I guess, are always coming into the bedroom because they want love and attention and conversation with mom. Okay.
Really? Dayton, Aurora? I think the little ones would be the only 2,
Well,
I would think.
I could see Aurora and Brianna doing it. I mean,
Mhm.
my daughter does that to me, either over the phone mostly. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah. What does she do when she needs some kind of emotional support? Like,
Mhm. Yeah, I guess so.
I'm the first one to call. But again, he acts like that's something crazy.
Mhm.
Your kids. He says, the kids have a tendency to draw a lot of attention.
Mhm.
Like, because he's never lived this before.
Yeah.
Because when he was with the other wives, um, they all kind of catered to him.
Yeah.
Like Christine was telling her kids, behave, be good, don't get dad mad. Okay, we have to
Mhm.
the food he wants, and we gotta do what he wants, and to so he'll be happy and he'll come back.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, it's
so
true. It's true. He has no idea what it is to be, I don't wanna say normal, but he doesn't know what it's like to be a monogamous. He doesn't know what it's like to live this kind of life, and he again, it's back to the social stuff. He also kinda doesn't
mhm,
know how to be in the world in some ways, and
yeah.
how the rest of the world looks at things. But yeah, then they go into this whole thing, which I agree with, which is, yes, you look in the mirror and you're like, who is that old person? But you still feel like you're a kid. Again, you still feel like you're 20 some odd years old. And then Kody, this is how we had to tie all this together. So Cody's talking about how they wanted to dance more. And of course, my favorite are when they do the montage clips of Kody dancing.
Oh yeah.
And how incredibly spazzy and
Yeah.
bizarre it is. And we see a clip later on with his dance with Madison at her wedding. I was like, that was, God, he's just whipping her around. I was like, oh, I felt so uncomfortable for her. Oh, it looked terrible. It's
I think
not
that wasn't
enjoyable.
Kelty, wasn't it?
Well, it was Maddie that I saw. That was
Oh.
Maddie's wedding. But I'm sure he
Well, he
did it to
does
both
that
of
with
them.
everyone where he's,
Yeah.
like, about to pull your arm out of the
Yeah.
socket. It's
Yeah.
like swinging you around, and, I mean, I'm kinda with Robin on this one, that yeah, I mean, he's a terrible dancer when he does that whipping around,
Mhm.
and what are you supposed to do when he's doing his
Yeah.
spaz dance? Just kind
Yeah.
of dance, like, parallel to him, and you do your own dance, and
Mhm.
he's just doing his dance, and you're doing yours, and it's just like, "Okay, this is not fun." Like,
Yeah.
so I understand, but I mean, what where are they gonna go and do the tango or whatever they're
Yeah. The, what was
trying
it? The
to do?
horizontal, what was it? The tango, the vertical expression of a horizontal wish. They had to go
Yeah,
into that whole thing. I was like, I had never heard that before in my life. And but
me
again, I
neither.
think it's this weird, this puritanical, right? I feel like we're back to the footloose town here,
Mhm.
where it's like, oh, they're dancing close to each other. They're doing the tango. That means they want to just get down and bone or something. It's like, maybe they're just
Yes.
dancing.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes things were just that. Let's see. But yeah, so this goes into this whole thing about Robin wanting to learn how to, we should take a dance lesson. And again, this is the producer saying the two of you need to start doing activities together, cuz
Mhm.
so where do you want to start? Um and what was it? It was Meri and Kody. They were talking about how their dances were these old school, no boogie, nobody got down, no gyrating hits hips. And so Kody is so proud of, like, but when there's a party at my house or anything I do, I always play rock and roll, you know? And he goes
I
into this whole
wonder what kind of music he listens to.
well, but the thing is that I think I really think he listens to a lot of like 80s, which I would totally listen to too, like Foreigner. I think a lot of that early 80s rock.
Journey.
Journey, Foreigner, who else
Yeah.
am I forgetting? There's so many of them.
Lover
Um,
Boy.
oh god, Styx and
Sticks. Yeah.
yeah, though I think it's Bruce Springsteen. I could see him kind of in that one era doing it, but again, he's talking to us like we don't know what rock and roll is. Like it's the 1950s.
Right.
And
Like
this
Elvis just came out.
yeah.
Have you heard of this new thing? It's called rock and roll. It's the
Yes.
devil's music.
Yeah, he's gyrating hips. Oh my god.
I
Um,
know this is such antiquated talk, but whatever.
but it's back to again, Kody talks about, well, they say that I couldn't be tamed and, now I'm a monogamous, so maybe I can be tamed or maybe I can't be tamed. So,
Okay, Kody.
Cody's going through the same similar-ish like Meri Kody, like all of the adults are going through some sort of transitional time in their life where they're really like figuring out who am I? What do I want?
Mhm.
This is the last third of my life, the second half of my life. Who am I going to be? What is it going to be about? And it's just fascinating to me that all the women can really sort of stop, except for Robyn, can really stop and be like, well, this worked, this didn't work, this was good, this was bad. I forgive myself for this. And Kody is it's always about the image. It's always about how
Mhm.
do you perceive me? You said
Right.
I couldn't be tamed. What does it matter? And you're not
Yeah,
even
well, he
that
always had
wild to begin with. Come on,
I
please.
know. He always had that thing, "Well, I'm a polygamist," like, that his thing that made him special,
Mhm.
and now he doesn't have that anymore, so what
No.
makes him special?
No. Yeah.
Well,
And you've got to figure
just
that's a crazy idea, Kody, that you're going to have to figure out what's going to make you feel special and you're going to have to find it yourself versus
Mhm.
expecting other people to give it to
To
you.
give it to you, yeah.
All right. We got to move along here. So
Alright, we gotta go to
Greenville,
North Carolina.
yeah. And Gabe's visiting. Um
Yay.
so Peyton has a girlfriend, Gabe has a girlfriend, and we find out that Gabe is going to be moving to Chicago to be with this girl. I guess once maybe he graduates, I guess he's close to graduating from college or something like that. I think because they said, "Oh, well, that you're moving in like 9 months." So,
Hmm.
um, yeah, I'm very happy for both of them. Um, And then we learned that Maddie is 3 weeks out from pregnancy, so they're all talking about, what's going on, and then they asked Janelle about, like, how much does Kody know, and Janelle is so practical. She's like, "I don't know, they haven't talked for a couple years, so he'll find out." Like, she's just so matter of fact, like, "Meh, okay."
He'll find out online.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, now we gotta go back to Parawan and the letter.
Mhm.
And they read the letter out loud, and we have talked a bit about this letter, but you're right. I guess I didn't pick up on how platonic it felt
Mhm.
versus but I just remember thinking like this is a long it felt like a very long letter for something that felt very small
Mhm.
and he was never really addressing what was probably underneath the feelings. Do you know what I mean? It's like, "Oh, I know this is hard for you, but just, just remember I'm your best friend, love you." Versus, "I know this is hard. This is what I can imagine you're going through." All of that. There was none of that. It was just like this letter to just kind of placate her or something. I don't
Yeah, and
know.
also, why is he, like, getting home at 2 a.m. and then leaving at 4 a.m. or whatever it was,
6
some
a.m.
crazy
Yeah.
thing, and I'll see you later, and she didn't wake up when he got home? I don't know, the whole thing seems very suspicious to me.
Yeah.
Seems very weird.
But I love this Christine. Christine does admit that Kody was really good with cards, but she said, I told him at the end there, I don't want any more gifts from you. And then it was a pause and also, and I don't want to give you any more gifts. I was like, oh
Good
shit.
for you. But yeah, this is
Yes.
all sort of part of Mary saying, "See, he really did love me," and it's
Hmm.
like, well, okay. I mean, he said he loved you, but did he
Well,
act like it?
Cody, this is where Cody talks about how Mary was really insecure, which rightly so.
Mhm.
And he felt like he spent a lot of time building her confidence. giving her all these reassurance. And this is where I wrote, this letter feels like a dad talking to a child. That's how
Mhm.
it felt to
Yeah, it's like
me.
a pep talk.
Yeah, you can do it. They find rings, and we get into this whole thing with the Claddagh ring and melting down the rings, um and we'd never heard the story before that Janelle's mom gave, I guess she had a ring from her family, and they gave they wanted to provide like a diamond in that for Mary's, to include Meri in this thing. Like, you're
Mhm.
part of the ring too, or something like
Right.
that. She
Yeah.
said it was very kind and very nice. Um, and then she finally says that Janelle was married to her brother.
Yeah, she
For
finally admits it.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
Yeah,
So
and she did say that Janelle really did try because it was awkward because
mhm,
of that, and that Janelle really did try to be cool to Meri, and Mary's just now kind of
mhm.
realizing this, I guess, and
Yeah,
she says, "And I never told her that." And I guess Meri was just so consumed with her own emotions that she couldn't
yeah.
see this from any other perspective.
And she is also, I don't know when Janelle joined the family, but is she even 25 yet? Has her brain fully formed? Like, that's the other
No, I
part
don't
of
think
this
so.
too, is that, yeah, these things happen. Like, she just didn't have there's fish that don't know they're wet. You don't know. You don't know, you know?
Yeah, because I think it was 3 years later. If she got married at 19, she's only, like, 22 when Janelle
Mhm.
comes in.
Yeah. So, and
Yeah.
she's struggling to have a baby, and all of it,
Yeah.
all of it.
She
I
felt
mean,
inadequate about that. She said she felt like she was doing everything wrong. She was doing
mhm,
marriage wrong. She couldn't have a baby. She was doing, yeah, everything
mhm.
wrong.
All right, but
So
we've got to go to Salt Lake City because Christine and David are fighting.
oh, they've had
They're a heated discussion,
I thought
which,
this was kind of interesting.
yeah, I kind of went back and forth on my thoughts, or any of that, but so it essentially they're fighting about, and they're fighting about Peyton, and I guess it sounds
Mhm.
like what Peyton does a lot is he uses movie quotes. Like, and I guess apparently when he talks and describes this new girl he's dating, maybe he's using movie quotes to describe her, or maybe he's using movie quotes to her. Like, is this how he's wooing
Mhm.
her, through movie quotes? And David expresses some worry about Peyton, about, right, are these thoughts really coming from him? If they're coming from movie quotes,
Right.
and if you're in love with someone, or you want to build something with someone, shouldn't it come from you? And I mean, I thought it was an interesting discussion of, and I don't think there's a right or wrong in any of that. I think what it was that David was trying to explain to Christine, Peyton's going to learn wherever you go, there you are. I mean, I think
Mhm.
this is the thing that David's concerned about. And I think Christine is just so sad that he's gone, that all she has to defend him no
She
matter
has to
what.
defend him.
Yeah.
See, I thought what he was concerned about was that this thing that Peyton does is immature and off-putting, and you're not gonna get a
Mm.
girlfriend like that way. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
or keep a
people are
girlfriend.
gonna think you're weird.
Yeah.
And because he says he's concerned he won't have well, I think maybe this was my thought. He's concerned Peyton won't have friends or a girlfriend if he doesn't express himself from the heart. Because that's what he's saying.
Mhm.
He's like,
Yeah.
"Stop doing this movie quote thing, okay? It's
Mhm.
annoying and it's old. You need to just talk like a normal person."
Yeah.
And you're right. It's like and it's true. It's like, yeah, you should tell a young man, like, or a young woman, like, "You know what? Stop with that."
Mhm.
That's but like you said, Christine is so sensitive 'cause he left and she misses
Mhm.
him, so she's just blindly defending him.
Yes. And I don't think David was really wrong. I mean, I also think that these are all things that Peyton's got to figure out for himself.
Mhm.
But maybe part of it was, maybe Christine encourages it, and he's trying to say to her, like, maybe you shouldn't encourage it so much. But
Mhm.
then we go into this whole thing about how she would read all the kids, and it's crazy when she talked about it. She read all these series. She read from Logan to Truly, every last kid in there. Christine was sitting there reading with them, and reading these
Mhm.
book series and all of these things. And she just said life was too hard to be real. and it
Mm.
was hard for her, and what she's really saying is, and I think again, maybe she uses movie quotes too. She said it's hard for her to express how she feels because she's used to bottling it up, and because some she the last 10 to 15 years were so bad that
Mhm.
sometimes you had to put a movie in to escape.
Mhm. Yeah, I
I'm
can
like,
see that.
I can see that too, and I understand it.
And
So,
that maybe explains her Pollyanna-ish princessy
mhm,
thing, like, yeah, it's an escape mechanism. I'm gonna
yeah,
pretend I'm a princess. I don't have to think about how shitty my marriage is. And
mhm,
um but
yeah.
yeah, I do have to say though, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned is not from Hamlet.
Oh, yeah, and I kinda felt like that's a really I mean, that quote, I'm like, "Christine, you're picking, like, a really common one." Do you know what I mean? It's not like you're picking some outside the he uses this quote, but what is it from?
Well, it's a line from a play called The Mourning Bride from
Mm.
1697,
Oh,
a play
wow.
written by William Congreves. Anyway,
Hmm.
I had
I
to
wonder
look
why
that up
it's
because I'm like,
attributed to Hamlet.
I think Christine just said that. I
Oh,
don't think most people attribute it to Hamlet.
okay.
I was just as soon as she said that, I'm like, I don't think that's right. I'll look that up. But anyway, yeah,
Okay.
but also I think Christine still has a hard time kind of like speaking her truth.
Mhm.
She's
Yeah.
still struggling. She's still recovering
Yes.
from this
Yes.
abusive relationship.
All of them are. All of
Yeah.
them are recovering.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, let's go back to Flagstaff. We're at the museum club that he and
Mm.
Robin, they pass by it all the time. It's right there on Route 66, and they're going to
Ooh.
go in to have a dance lesson. And I thought to myself, well, Robin put on her best floral top,
Yeah,
and
she's all
here we
dressed.
go.
Okay, can we stop for a second and talk about Robin's look? Because I was thinking about this. This is really concerning to me. Like, someone needs to have an intervention with her.
Hmm.
Okay. Because everyone talks about how bad she looks and everything. And it's like, well, she's aging herself. She's doing this. She's got this real harsh, dark
Yeah.
dye job hair.
Yeah.
She and then she curls it in a very old-fashioned way,
Yeah.
like almost like one of those dolls,
Hmm.
one of her old-fashioned dolls with the banana curls. So
Yeah.
that dates her. And then yeah, she wears business casual
Yeah.
24/7, the black slacks and a floral polyester top.
And the thing is, when we first meet her, she was, and that's what we heard from Christine about how Robin wore form fitting clothes. And,
Mhm.
she really like wanted to show things off and that she would wear tight jeans. And it's like, yeah, I mean, Robin, I don't know if she feels insecure about maybe because she's had more kids and gained weight. I don't know. I think she looks great. And I think she would look great in like a pair of jeans and a t shirt. Like,
Yeah.
this would make you seem so much younger, but yeah, you're absolutely right. This ages her to no
Yeah.
degree. All
Well,
of it does.
if she had a makeover, she would look so much younger. And also, again, the eyebrows.
Ugh, I
They
know.
have not gotten any better. I mean, she's got the strip painted on eyebrows. And again, is there no one in her life who will tell her that that doesn't
No.
look good? Not
No.
even her they're not even teens anymore. And not even her young adult daughters. Like,
Yeah. Because
they
boys
usually will tell.
yeah, boys notice nothing. Nothing at all. But
Mhm.
girls, oh, we were relentless with our mother. No, that looks
Yeah.
terrible. And I'm sure Layla probably says to you,
Oh, yeah.
like,
She's probably nicer than we were to our mom. But yeah, if I was painting on my eyebrows like that, she would definitely have said
yeah,
something the first
someone would
time
have
she
had an
saw it.
intervention with her. But
Yeah.
yeah, so why aren't Aurora and or Brianna going, "Mom, you gotta get this together." And what
Well,
she had eyebrows. What happened to them? I don't
I mean, your
understand.
I don't
Why
know,
does she have
your
to paint
eye
them on?
no, your eyebrows, they do thin as you get older, but you can also just get a little brush and fill them
Mhm.
in. You don't have to create a whole strip. You don't have to paint them on.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe her daughters are afraid to say something to her. Maybe they don't have as good as relationship as,
Yeah.
we think. Maybe they're afraid of her and they don't
Yeah.
want to say anything to her.
Or maybe they
Wow.
tried to bring it up at some point and she got mad and then they got in
Yeah.
trouble and they were like, "Okay, we'll
Yeah. And
never
they're like,
bring
well,
this up again." But
yeah.
you're absolutely right. I just yeah. So we
Anyway.
learned that Cody's special dance is called the pump dance.
Oh,
And this is
Jesus.
where we see when he went to during COVID when he wouldn't
Yeah.
leave the house at all, but he could go to his friend Brian's wedding to
Wedding.
officiate it in another state with
Yeah.
other people. And then we see the scenes of him and his ponytail dancing around. And that dancing, it is so friggin' funny. And you just have to laugh because it's like the height of COVID, no one's wearing a mask. Like
Mhm.
you were so freaked out. You're just dancing
Yeah.
around like it's nobody's business. And this is where we get the title. Kody says, Robyn told me you're the stripper and I'm the pole. And he loved that. All right. So we're back to Greenville. Maddie and Caleb, they're trying to make some plans for the baby. Um, I guess, did they say that all their other kids came on their due date or before their due date?
I think they said on their due date.
On their due date. And Maddie is really big. I mean, she's bigger. Like I felt for her. And I remember being at that place where you're like, every day feels like exhausting just to get through the day.
Mhm.
Um, just being so big. And so she's just, they're trying to figure this out before they, you know,
Yeah, they're making plans and like who's gonna stay with the kids and whatnot. And that little Evie is so cute. She's
yeah, she
like
is very
at the
cute.
table. She's like looks like she's taking notes.
Yes, yes.
And she's asking questions. She's like, "What does observation mean?"
Yes. I was like, oh, that's a good question, Evie.
She
Smart
seems
girl.
very organized and
Yes.
yeah, like she's
So
paying close attention to what's happening.
so tell me again, because this is during the episodes I'm not as up on. So Evie was born. I thought Evie was born without part of her arm, and that they had an arm put on, but it looks like she was born without all of her fingers.
Well, on one hand, I think she only has 2 fingers.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of her legs was much longer than the other, and what
Okay.
they ended up doing was they ended up amputating the short, leg, like, under the knee, and she
Mm-hmm.
has a prosthetic
Got
leg.
it. Okay, so that's the prosthetic, because I do
Yeah.
remember Maddie talking about this and working with organizations and all of that.
Mhm.
And so when I saw her hands, I was like, oh, okay, maybe it was her arm, but that looks like her real arm.
Yeah, no, the
So,
arms are okay, it's just and so I noticed, yeah, one hand has 2 fingers, and the other
mhm,
hand might be missing, like,
one.
1
I think there's
finger or half a
four.
finger or something,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
they
yeah,
have any
she's
idea why?
yeah, it's like a rare genetic
Oh,
disorder.
okay. Okay.
It's got a name, I don't know what it is. One of
Got
those
it.
long,
Got it.
complicated
Okay.
names, yeah.
All right. So we're back to Parawan. We're talking about Meri. So Mary's talking about how Kody, melting down the ring,
Oh, god, that was weird.
this whole thing. And so Kody tells us, goes into basically, Kody says, I didn't want her to have claim on me. I didn't want her to marry. So basically, you melted this down because you did not want Meri to feel like she had more claim over on you than Christine or Janelle. And it felt he said it kind of felt like a command sometimes, like she was commanding him. And so we're learning a lot about this dynamic between the two of them. And this is my note. I was like, you know what, Kody, which one is it? Because that's
Mhm.
that's a bit of the problem is that, you know, do you what is the secret to success in this? And I think this is part of the problem, which is this is a difference between a good manager and a great leader, which is Kody sees everything as because I have a hammer, everything's a nail, versus
Mhm.
someone else who thinks to themselves, each of these women are different people and they need different things. And maybe it is. That's what Meri needed. And if the other women were fine with it, why couldn't you give that to her? It's this
Mhm.
weird thing where sometimes he's like, everything has to be fair and everything has to be equal and no one person should have more of a claim on me. And then there's other times where he's talking about like, well, this wife likes this wife likes that. It's like which one? And it's like it seems to be the one that works to your narrative. because you can't seem to figure out how, I mean, being a good parent, I don't know what it's like to have multiple kids, but I would think our parents were very good about this, which is they made everything fair, but they talked to us differently. We had, because we're different people in
Mhm.
different circumstances and relationships, but it always felt fair. So there's
Mhm.
something that you're not doing, working on, because there's lots of other people that can figure this out with their
Yeah.
kids, and you can't. So,
Yeah, I mean, Kody, God, yeah, he's really petty.
it was cruel.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
just petty, just mean. And he's saying Meri always wanted more. And it's like, well, I think they all wanted more,
Yeah.
but maybe
Maybe she
Meri
was
was
more
just
vocal.
more, yeah, she was more vocal, or you didn't like the way she said it or something. I don't know, but yeah,
Mhm.
like melting down a wedding ring
Yeah,
or
I was like,
whatever ring. I don't know if it was his wedding ring, but a ring that Meri gave him.
"Uh-huh."
Yeah, and then she practically begged him to use some of it to make a necklace for
Yeah.
her, which he did, and now she has it and she's showing it and she's like, "What do I do with this?" I'm like, "Take it to the pawn shop."
Yeah, get rid of it.
Seriously. Yeah, get it. It's bad. She said it's bad energy. And she
Mhm.
was talking about like all of this stuff they're looking at is bad energy.
Yeah.
She really should not keep any of this stuff. She needs to donate her dress. I mean, you could keep, I don't know if you want to keep your wedding announcement or
Have a
pictures or
divorce party,
whatever.
have a party, bring all your girls over, get a
Yeah.
big bonfire, you know, keep one or two things that feel
Yeah.
like to you aside from that, but yeah, burn the rest. What I kept thinking was, because does she say this about, like, there's lots of other ways to express, I think, or did I say this? I wrote down, why did it have to be so cruel? And
Mhm.
there's lots of other ways you can express how you feel. And this is where I was like, I think this was, and I think Kody did this a lot, or still does this. I think this again is the ADD. He's very impulsive. He's very
Mhm.
impulsive. And I think that she said the wrong thing to him one day. And I think he took that and melted it down. And he can't now go, that was a rash decision. I'm sorry. I
Right.
shouldn't have done that. Now it's like, well, I got to find a reason for me doing that.
Right.
Anyway.
Weird.
So we're back in Greenville. Maddie and Caleb are still packing their go bag. Axel is now going to be the big brother of three younger girls. He's not happy about this at all. He really wanted a boy, which I can understand. He wanted that last kid to be a boy. But, Axel's taking it in stride. I don't love when Caleb said, well, we're there protect us. They need us. Like the women
Mhm.
were here to protect them. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
you're
give
gonna
me a break.
don't start that now. It's like
Ay, ay, ay.
whatever.
All right.
Gosh,
Okay.
this is like a whiplash. Now we're
I
back to
know.
Utah.
Back to Utah. Um, and is this where they keep talking about well, yeah, this is where Christine starts to get into she's like, I like to have these real conversations. They're necessary, to connect, but,
Mhm.
and to sit with it. And that's sort of what David's saying is that he's like, I like to talk about things and I like
Mhm.
to debate things, and I don't need to be right. I think this is the
Mhm.
thing that Christine's having a hard time with, is David wants to have these conversations with her and he doesn't need to be right.
Right, and she starts out the segment earlier with saying that they had a fight.
Mhm.
And I wouldn't characterize this as a
Yeah.
fight. It was like David expressed something. She was like probably defended Peyton and then he wanted to continue to talk about
Mhm.
it. She's really never had like a healthy marital
Mhm.
fight or discussion or differences or whatever you want to call it, because I'm sure that if she said something Kody didn't agree with, he just left.
Or he would say
Or
she was
or
wrong. And how many conversations has she, I think the other thing too is I think all the conversations she ever had with Kody about the kids were probably always about physical things, like
Mhm.
physical health. Truly's in the hospital, this or that. But what David's really talking about is, hey, Payton's at a new stage of his life. And if he's saying he wants to meet someone,
Mhm.
and this is like, a good parent is always a parent. They're always going to show up when
Mhm.
you need them. And that's really what he's trying to help Christine be the kind of parent that Peyton needs right now. or
Right.
to even just talk about it. Maybe he doesn't think that that's what she needs to do. But yeah, I don't think she ever had these kinds of conversations with Kody.
Oh, no, nothing was nuanced. Everything was
Oh,
just
no.
black and white, and yeah, and then he starts talking about, the men in polygamy,
Mhm.
because a couple of his sisters were living polygamy, and it ruined them, and
Mhm.
um, he said the men in polygamy they get off on these women vying for the
Yeah.
man's attention,
Good. Thank you,
and
David. Finally, someone is
yes,
saying it. Thank
finally.
you.
And they use it to control the women.
Mhm.
And yeah, absolutely. It's total control because, again, if you don't do things Cody's way,
Mhm.
he'll just leave.
Yeah.
He'll go to another house. Like he has somewhere else to go to, which most men don't. I mean, maybe they can go to their garage or
Mhm.
their man cave for a little bit, but, they still have to come back inside
Mhm.
and, go to bed, whatever. But yeah, he's really, I mean, you realize in this scene just how how damaged Christine is. And even though in her book, I felt like obviously she'd had a lot of
Mhm.
revelations and done a lot of changing and growing and whatever, but she still has a work to do. Like, you don't unwind like
Oh, no.
30 years of that in a couple years.
30 years, she was born into it.
Right. But like the time with Cody,
Oh, yeah. The Kody
yeah,
and her childhood. Like, yeah,
right.
it's a lot.
Right.
It's very different, maybe for someone else who's only in a cult for a year or 2. But
Yeah.
yeah, this was I mean, she's had to unwind everything that she thought was true and real about the world.
Right.
She's had to unwind all of those things, and it is a lot. But this is where Meri talks about, what happened when Janelle showed up and she feeling wrong for feeling jealous and, I couldn't have a baby, everything. I couldn't nothing I did was right. And
Mhm.
it's like, yeah.
Mhm.
But this is the other part of it too is like has Kody ever this is what I want to know. It's like, Kody, did you ever stop and wonder how Meri not being able to have more than one child has impacted her, and that maybe her frustration or anger is something to do with that, but it's almost like polygamy says, well, you shouldn't be feeling that way.
Mhm.
Like that's a you problem. Like that's not a
Mhm.
marriage issue. That's a you've got to deal with it on your own or you've got to
Yeah.
be okay with it kind of issue. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, but then Janelle's like, well, I don't want to say all poly marriages are like this and blah, 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 blah. But she's like, well, there is a lot of secrecy and lack of empowerment. And I'm like, yeah, no shit. And she said, this is why we wanted to go public. And I'm like, yeah. And you guys all went public and showed us that it doesn't really work, even
Right.
when quote
Look what
unquote you
it
have
did
all
to
the right
her.
circumstances.
Look what it did to her. She almost
Yeah.
ended up with nothing.
Yeah. You were great. You should be so grateful your daughter let you come live with her
Exactly.
because
Where
where
else
would
were
you
you gonna
be?
go? Yeah, and if it wasn't for her getting that money out of Coyote Pass, and also, let's be real, I believe she inherited a lot from Garrison. Because from what I
Oh.
heard, she inherited his house. He had a house
Oh,
he
I didn't know
owned
that. Okay, of course it would go to her. Yeah.
and a life insurance policy,
Wow.
from the
Okay.
military. So I think she
Yeah.
inherited money from him.
Mhm.
She's getting this Coyote Pass money finally, and that's why she was, so well they both everyone, Meri too. They needed that money
Mhm.
and yeah, because if it weren't for that, if Cody had like screwed her over
Mhm.
or just didn't sell or whatever, where would she be? I
Yeah.
mean, she has her paycheck from the show, but
And Plexus.
it's not enough to like, yeah, build a brand new house or
No, no.
buy a house. I mean, that's why she was renting for so long.
Oh, yeah. I think Janelle over indexes the fact that she worked at a job out quote unquote outside the home.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, that maybe gave you a little more independence. But if your paycheck, much like a sex worker, if your
Mhm.
paycheck is being taken by a man and then
Mhm.
distributed how he wants to distribute it,
Mhm. Yeah.
again, you are now, I mean, this is what a lot of women do, like a lot of very
Yeah.
controlled women. It's like just because you're going to a job doesn't mean that you had power. It
No,
just means
she's
that you went to a job.
delusional. She's delusional on that point, and
Yeah, she
that was
is.
her party line for all this time. No, Janelle, you went and you earned a paycheck exactly. You turned it over to Cody,
Mhm.
and he decided where the money went. And then to add insult to injury, he had you doing the books and
Mhm.
keeping track of the books, so you knew where the money was going all this time, and you didn't say anything.
Mhm.
You didn't say anything to anybody until recently, like a
Yeah.
year ago,
Yeah.
that, "Oh, by the way," yeah, and Kody was telling everyone else that Janelle controlled the money, which was
Mhm.
not true, so he could blame her, and now it's like, "Oh, by the way, I didn't control anything. I just kept the books with the
Yeah.
bookkeeper and had no say in the matter and never warned anybody."
Mhm. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
Janelle
why.
is problematic in
See,
in
that's the
this
thing. A lot of
way.
people think, there's always this like, some people are more Christine stands, some people are more Janelle stands. I'm sorry, I will stick with Christine every day of the week. Yes, she's goofy. Yes, she's all these things. I thought she rushed into marriage. I am with you
Mhm.
and all of those things. But if you read her book, this is someone who is honest, who is
Mhm.
real, who is authentic, and is trying to figure out who she is and the only way she can. And she has not hurt anyone, or she has never intentionally tried to hurt anyone.
Mhm.
So I give her a hell of a lot more credit than Janelle with some of this
Mhm.
stuff, because it's a little bit like you're supposed to be such this real person, but you weren't telling us the truth. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is why you went public, but we didn't know till recently what the truth was.
Yeah.
So the fact that she's still with this party line is
Yeah, I don't
beyond
like it.
me. But yeah, and then we get this whole thing into garments and Christine saying she didn't want to wear garments and she was so frumpy. But we got to go back to Flagstaff
We
because
gotta get back to our dance lesson.
yes.
Who, this poor, Jordan and Elizabeth, I think were their
Mhm.
names. Boy, they have a lot of work they have
Yeah, oh
ahead of
god,
them.
yeah. But Kody
Because
wants to make sure we all know that the first time he and Robyn had a conversation was at a dance. And
Yes,
this is why
a
dancing's
church
so special for
dance.
them.
Right.
Mhm.
But they couldn't dance to rock and roll because it was a
No.
church dance.
No, no, no. No.
So, yeah, and it turns out Kody, he again,
Oh
he's like
god.
a squirrel. He can't remember anything. He's like, "Oh, wait, no, that's wrong. Okay, wait. Okay, I'm gonna have to do that like 100 times to get that. Okay, now what? I mean, this is just awful. I mean,
Mhm. It is really
him.
bad.
It's gonna make it take him months and months of lessons and practice to get
But
this
you just wanted to tell them, "Slow down. Slow down
right.
for a second.
Listen,
Watch what they're
listen,
doing."
watch exactly. Follow directions.
Mhm. But
They
he's
show him
yeah.
off,
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I'm sure this is why Robin's like, "God, this is why we don't do activities together."
right.
Um, yeah.
She's thinking this isn't gonna work. This isn't gonna make it any better. He's never gonna be able to remember this. He's
Mhm.
just gonna go back to his doing his thing. And she should just again, this is a made up storyline, but I mean, you know, just let him dance. You don't have to
Yeah.
keep up with him and match his exuberance, as she keeps saying. Just parallel dance. He
Mhm.
does his dance over here. That's what everyone else does.
Mhm.
That's how people dance. Like in a crowd or
Yeah.
people, everyone just does their own thing. You don't have to do the tango.
Yeah. Well, but I think that Robin wants to have like a nice slow dance with him not flailing her around, which I don't think is a
Mhm.
crazy thing to ask. But you see how passive Robin is? He's like, "Oh, Robin moves with grace." I'm like, "No, she's kind of half there, half not there." Like
Yeah.
so I was like, "Oh god, I can't imagine the two of you in bed." I really can't. Like, what is
Ugh.
that like? One is an excited puppy and the other one is a corpse. And I don't know what's going on there. God, I hope they meet somewhere in the middle with some of this stuff. But it's frightening to watch.
Robin probably just lays there and is like, "Okay." And he just does it.
Well, you know what? I bet you anything she's like, "Okay, I have to just lay here so I don't get hit," or not like he's hitting her, but I bet you
So I
he's
don't get
so
injured.
crazy. She's like,
Yeah, exactly.
I have to put my arms and legs, like centered so I don't get smacked in the face or something. Do you know what I mean? I bet you it's that. I bet
Yeah.
you the first couple times she was like, "Oh crap, I have to put on a safety harness or something."
Helmet. Oh
Ay,
god.
ay, Okay. All right. We got a couple more scenes. We're back to Greenville baby watch. Not much has happened. They're trying to, Maddie's thinking about going on a walk. They put the bag downstairs. Not much has happened. And then we're back to Parawan.
God, still talking about the dress.
Yeah, still talking about the dress. And she says, I'm not going to wear this kind of dress. And she talks a little bit about it, like about the religion, about what she was told. And she's like, she's realizing, suffering. Was she the one that said suffering will make you better? Or was it Christine? I think they both in their own ways were saying that, like, is this really what life is?
Christine was talking about enduring. You just have to endure till the end. That's their motto.
Yeah. And that maybe that's not right. And maybe that was a sexist, antiquated way. And this is how they're controlling you,
Yeah.
And I can't imagine how you have to wrap your brain around that. Like, not only your grandfather and your father, but your husband, like everybody kind of, all these men were in on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then this is the scene where we see Kody dancing with Maddie, and he's like whipping, he's not whipping her around. He's whipping around, and she's just barely trying to hang on. I felt bad for her. I felt like, oh, how awkward and this is your first dance with your dad. You want this to be special. Like, ugh.
Oh, no. I mean, I'm surprised he hasn't dislocated someone's shoulder by now.
Yeah. No, it's just bad. All right. Did you write down scenes for next week? Because next week's the standoff.
It's all about the meeting on the property. I don't know if there's anything else. I was just focused on that. But yeah, there's going to be a showdown on Coyote Pass. I don't understand why. Why do they all need to be there? For what?
Production.
I mean,
they need to have some kind of scene. They need to figure out, like, productions like, listen, you're all in town to sign these papers, or we have to get all of you here. I mean,
and they don't even have to. You can e-sign.
Yes, I know.
They don't even have to come to town. So yeah, this is going to be a made up. But I mean, what are they going to talk about?
Not much.
I mean, this is either going to be really good, or it's going to be just nothing, where they just all kind of stare at each other and don't say much. Or it could be a showdown. It could be, because I mean, there's a lot to talk about.
But don't you think if there was words being exchanged, if you think that they really got into it, don't you think we would have seen those scenes? Like, TLC doesn't like to, like, surprise you with anything. They don't want to hold anything back. I mean, my God, they're showing you what's going to happen after the commercial break. I mean, there's not a lot of secrecy. So there's a part of me that feels like I don't think it's going to be beyond that, because I think that they had good footage, they would be showing it.
Well, maybe they're keeping it under wraps because it's going to be a big, surprise.
Hubbubaloo.
Time will tell.
Yes. All right. Well, if you are still here, thank you so much for being here with us. It's a long one. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you. As I mentioned earlier, we do have a Patreon. You get all these shows ad free. You get, for the $5 tier, you get a weekly bonus where we talk about Kim K and other things and what's going on in the entertainment news, what's going on in our lives. We talk a little bit more about ourselves. And then for our $8 tier, you have access. We just finished up our Christine Brown Woolley's book. We have 9 episodes for that. And if you just want that, you can actually just buy that from Patreon. You can buy all 9 episodes. You can have them if that's all you want. But we also do an Ask Us Anything and a True Crime that's just exclusive for Patreon on the $8 level. So go check us out. You can support. There's lots of different ways to support us. If you're an active listener of ours and you haven't already, please subscribe to the show. Give us a 5-star rating and review. Those reviews help us. It helps people find us. And follow us on social media. We're on YouTube now. Yeah, just spread the word as much as you can. Is spread the word.
Tell a friend, and then they'll tell a friend.
Yes,
and,
exactly,
like the old shampoo commercial.
Yes. And if you know that commercial, you're about our age. So
yes, you're a woman or a man of a certain age.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. See you next time.
Bye.